بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So then Allah Ta'ala says regarding this fighting, fight them until they give this jizya, this taxation. And this is when the Muslims were in a state of izzah. See, it was not always like it is now. And we must impart that to our youth, that it was not always like it is now. That Islam ruled for centuries all across the world. That people woke up and went to sleep for 900 years in Turkey under Islamic rule. For 700-800 years in Spain under Islamic rule. Didn't know anything else. There weren't congressmen and senators. There was khulafa and wuzara. There wasn't this passed this bill and that bill. There was the Amir al-Mu'mineen said this and said that. There was Sharia in the streets. There was people who faced Qibla and made salat. And the mushrikeen were in a position of being subdued, was not allowed to call to that filth that they called to the shirk that they called to the foolishness that they called to the kufr that they called to. This is something that must be known. That Islam is not something, as they say, wulid al-yawm, born today. That Islam is that deen of Allah Ta'ala from the time of Adam alayhi salam to the time that Allah Ta'ala inherits the earth and all that is upon it. That deen al-haq. So when the Muslims had this izzah and they had this honor because of their belief in Allah and because they're sticking to the book of Allah and sticking to the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam with the understanding of the first 2 generations of Islam. No new understandings. Nothing they took from the books of the Greeks. Nothing they took from the Indians or the Hindus. Nothing they took from the Jews or the Christians. Nothing they took from modern science and technology. They took their deen from the book of Allah and from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam and from the understanding of the Salaf Salih. When they did this, when they stuck to Islam in their belief, in their deportment, in their manner, in their behavior, in their interaction with one another, how they dealt with their wives, how they dealt with their children, how they dealt with their brothers, how they dealt with their sisters, their mothers, their aunts, their cousins, how they dealt with the kuffar outside. When they stuck to this, Allah gave them izzah. Allah gave them honor. They were feared. They were here a month's journey away that the Muslims are coming and they get to running. They get up under their beds. They go like we do, like many of the people do now. When it comes to, you say a hurricane's coming, everybody's at the store getting their food, getting this and getting that. Izzah. So when the Muslims had izzah, they would get jizya from the Jews and the Christians, not give jizya to the Jews and the Christians. They would get taxes, which is what Sheikh Muqbil Rahimahullah said. Someone said to him, do I have to pay taxes in America? You go into the whole thing of maslaha or masada. Some of the scholars say, well, maslaha is, well, if they're going to force you and you're going to put you in jail, and pay it. You can go through all that. He said the asl is that they pay us taxes, not that we pay them taxes. That's the asl. So we're doing other than the asl. Things are strange. Things are different. Things are other than they're supposed to be. The scales are other than they're not balanced. Things are not correct. You notice in an atmosphere that there's something different, something wrong. Until we get back to where we're supposed to get back to, it will stay that way and get worse. As-salalahu al-afiyah.